Have a listen to this. Have a listen to this.
Interest rates are higher. I know people don't like that, but you should be welcoming the stronger economy.
And maybe a deal has a point about the machinery of capitalism being oiled with the blood of the workers.
The United States is a country that has always paid all of its bills.
Lannister always pays his debts.
Don't let the bastards get you.
Hello and welcome to Comedian versus Economist. My name's Adam and we're joined as always by my little older brother and real life economist, Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
G'day, Adam. How you going?
I'm doing excellent. Hey, CVE, that's us, Thomas. We're on YouTube now. I don't know if people caught the message the other day. Each episode is now released in video format for people to enjoy. So you can not only listen to us talk, you can watch us talk. If that's your thing. But more importantly, you can see the charts in real time while we're talking about the charts, Thomas. Wow. It's like we're living in the future.
Yeah, we're disrupting television.
It will be broadcast at 7 p.m. Tuesdays. We're working on it on demand. Stay tuned because one day we might be able to watch YouTube on demand. My favorite bit of the YouTube recordings, though, is just seeing where you're recording from each week, Thomas.
Each week. Yeah.
You just never know where he'll turn up. One day he's in the kitchen. Oh, now he's in the backyard. Now he's under the stairs.
Yeah, I'm in my kid's bedroom this week.
Total pro. It's like the Economist version of Where's Wally? Hey, we had a listener email. Tom sent us an email. He said, got a question. Do you see any downstream impacts of Europe potentially looking to move defence spending onshore and away from the US now that the US-NATO relationship is looking shaky? Particularly wondering how it may impact Germany's economy. Thomas, is that something you can speak on?
I mean, a little.
6 words or less.
6 words or less, yes. Any questions? Yeah, I mean, this one of Trump's demands is that the NATO countries lift their own defense spending as a percent of GDP, saying that they're not putting enough into defense spending and just riding on the US's coattails. So to the extent that they onshore that and build that out of domestic industry could be a good thing. Typically, if you build a shipyard and start producing ships, that creates a lot of employment and that has sort of downstream economic effects for your economy. Often been used in the past, actually. I think Hitler in the 30s, one of the first things he did to ramp up the German economy was to massively ramp up defense manufacturing, which created a whole bunch of jobs, created a lot of tightness in the economy, and the German economy kind of boomed with that defense spending. Right. He then had to pay for it, which involved invading Poland, but then that's a whole other story.
Well, you win some, you lose some. Right. Okay. Oh, well, there you go. Well, thanks, Tom, and thanks, Thomas, for both your question and your answer. Let's crack on with the show. We've got a massive show coming up for you today. We got some jobs data because it's Jobs Week. Also, National Funeral Planning Awareness Week, Thomas.
Right.
Tough to know which one to focus on there. Wages continues to disappoint. Talking about mine, mostly. Not sure how everyone else is feeling. Most Americans think Trump is a strong leader, although they're much less sure about exactly where he's leading them. And there's been a boom in tequila sales, Thomas, though we should take that news with a grain of salt and a wedge of lemon. But first, Thomas, Amazon are primed to own everyone and everything. What's going on with Amazon?
Yeah, this is my contender for most interesting chart of the year so far. I mean, there's been 5 of them, but
we need a poll now that we're on YouTube. We're on all the socials. We can do polls, Thomas.
Look at this chart.
Put in your vote for most interesting chart of the year.
Yeah, but what it says is that there were 194 million users of Amazon Prime in the US in 2024, which accounts for 75% of the American adult population.
Wow, that's crazy. 75% of people are paying for a Prime membership.
All right. Yeah. Is there I don't have a Prime membership. It's not a free option? You have to pay for it?
No, I'm pretty sure that's the whole point of it. You can't have
Oh,
Prime.
yeah. Yeah, right.
There's no free Prime.
Right. So anyone can buy from Amazon, but if you want the free shipping and you need Prime.
They won't.
Yeah, right.
They're nice like that. Amazon. They'll let you buy from them even without a membership. Very accommodating.
This is why I trust billionaires to run the economy.
Not big in the online shopping space, Thomas.
No,
not ordering a lot. Yeah,
no, I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to comment too much on whether it's worth it or not, but I do feel like it's one of the better value memberships going around. You get a lot with Prime.
Oh,
you get like the shipping stuff, but you also get like their streaming service and music streaming and other things with it. So
okay, you've got membership, do you?
Yeah.
What does it cost?
Oh, I don't know. It's bundled up in all of my streaming services that I ignore and rarely use, and then
must be nice to be wealthy. Whatever. Sure, give me Prime.
I mean, I've got stuff. I'm just not good at accounting and personal finance. That's my point. I don't know what it costs me because I just tend to sign up for things and forget about them.
Right. So you don't know what it costs, but you think it's good value for money.
Well, anecdotally speaking, it's something like, I don't know, $8 a month or something.
Okay.
And so I remember it's cheaper than Netflix.
Right.
It's cheaper than Netflix, and you get streaming, which you also get with Netflix, but you can also buy things that you get shipped to your house.
Right.
In double quick time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't want to make this an ad for Amazon. They seem like they're doing fine with 75% of America paying for Prime memberships. I don't think they need me spruiking them, but
it is. It's insane. Up from 26 million in 2013. So since launch, it's just been amazing.
Yeah, all right.
But
what does this mean, though, for us
the
as a
dystopian
society?
Nightmare we're rushing towards?
As a bunch of people who like to buy things, what does it mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing to remember with Amazon is that when Bezos launched it, launched as an online bookstore, but the products were never the point. And what he always said is he wanted to control the pipes of commerce themselves. So it's not about the things that they're selling, but it's being the monopoly owner of the pipes of commerce itself. So all trade goes through Amazon. That's the ultimate realized vision for it. But if one company owns like water, if one company owned all the water pipes in the country, that's a problem. Or that creates a risk where that company just goes, we're just cutting this suburb off or whatever.
At least I'd know who to talk to if I had a drain blockage, though. At the moment, there's a lot of finger pointing going on. Thomas, I had a blocked drain the other day. No accountability.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes you just need a dictator to make the drains run on time.
Oh, nice. Make the drains run on time. That's fantastic. All right, I did tease jobs data at the start, Thomas. What have we got with the jobs data? What did we learn?
Yes, well, Jobs Week this week, that rare confluence of jobs and wages. It's like a celestial event in the economics calendar.
And funeral planning, service awareness week, don't forget.
Yeah. So, the strong run in the job market continues. Unemployment rate lifted a teensy bit to 4.1%. Still tracking well in line with RBA forecasts. Yes, it's just nothing but a good news story. Participation rate continues to lift to record highs. Full-time employment growth is strong.
Right, so everyone's got a job. Everyone that wants a job's got a job. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that don't. That don't.
Yeah, but nothing to complain about.
So what do we do? Well, what do we do with this data? Right, we go, okay, good. Like this seems healthy. Like we're happy with it. Like everything's good. Do we just not change anything? Does this good news for Albanese going into an election, kind of going like, hey, check it out. Data went up
check
like
out my
a
jobs.
teensy bit, 4.1%. Barely should have even mentioned it. Like, what do we do?
Well, I think it's all good. I think the only problem with it is that it's the sort of the one thing holding up more rate cuts.
Right.
Is that the RBA is worried about the job market. And Yeah, and it is surprising. Like you've got a chart here looking at it, comparing to other OECD countries, like Justin Faber at Antipodean and Macro takes the sort of average of all the other OECD countries, and there's in the latest sort of few months, quite a difference. So Australia's done really well compared to our international peers.
Why? Why are we doing better?
I think it's largely health-related employment.
Oh, right.
So sort of the build out in the NDIS.
Other countries aren't healthy enough to work?
No, no, they're not investing massively in their health sector at the moment.
People have a lot of sick days in other countries. Australia, like ironically, famous for the sick day, for the sickie, still healthy. Probably focused on that point too long. Anyway.
Yeah. So, but I think health spending accounts for a fair bit of it. So it's public sector. Market employment's still pretty weak. It's all the public sector driving the jobs growth.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Right.
The other interesting chart here I got, which I thought was interesting, this is the share of NILFs moving from full-time employment, to full-time employment. NILFs. NILFs. Not, this is an economics term, not in the labour force. So people who were outside the jobs market, who were not working and weren't looking for work.
Right. What's that? Right, not in the labour market. Okay.
NILF, not in the labour force. NILFs. Yeah.
Oh, was that intentional? Yeah, we've come across MILFs in the past, thanks to like a very poor 90s, early 2000s Hollywood movie.
Not aware of that one.
American Pie. You don't know the MILF acronym?
Oh, I think I've heard about it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I think I want to claim this one for the economics. We were calling these guys NILFs a long time before that.
Really?
I reckon. Yeah.
It's surprising you didn't get as much traction as a B-grade Hollywood movie.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. But so the share of NILFs moving to full-time employment was at record highs, has been since COVID. Yeah. So up to 2.2%. That's fallen off a cliff in the last 4 or 5 months, which is really interesting.
Right.
That's down to 1.4%. And it's not low. It's sort of back to sort of historical ranges. But it's a sharp drop-off, which is really interesting. And it's sort of like the first chink in the labour force armour that we're seeing, that maybe this is the first sign that the labour market is weakening. And on that measure, potentially weakening quite quickly.
Right.
But other than that, everything's strong. So it's not a lot to hang your hat on, but it's an interesting chart.
Could be the canary in the coal mine. You heard it here first on Comedian versus Economist. On that bombshell.
Yeah.
On that bombshell, we're going to take a quick break here, grab a word from this week's sponsor, and be back with more CVE right after this. Welcome back here on Comedian versus Economist. You'll find us on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube at CVE Podcast. You can send us a message. You can also email us, cve@equitymates.com, or via the website, equitymates.com/CVE. But Thomas, it's time to talk wages. A lot of people in jobs. How are the wages looking for those people?
Oh, terrible. Wages are tanking. Yeah, I mean, they're not tanking, they're not going backwards, but wages growth is tanking quickly. Right. So down from 3.5% in the September quarter, down to 3.2% in the December quarter. If you annualize the latest quarter result of 0.7%, you get 2.8%. So pretty weak. Like, remember the RBA has said that they see wages growth of 3 to 4% consistent with an inflation target of 2 to 3%. So the difference being productivity. It's a bit of it's an equation, but basically, like saying, the annualized latest result at 2.8%, that suggests that wages are taking inflation out of the target bound to the downside. Right. So quite a weak result.
Can we have both? Can we have high employment and wages growth?
I mean, you should. Pretty much in every other economy in the world, that's what you'd get. With any other economy in the world, you get an unemployment rate down to 3.5%. Which is, on some measures, like almost 1 to 1.5% below neutral, like the non-accelerating inflation rate. You would expect wages to grow strongly, particularly in a high inflation environment. But
if everyone's getting a job that wants a job, that suggests that there's lots of vacancies in the job market. So there's lots of jobs going, which presumably then Oh, you would expect that to push up wages because people are trying to attract talent, or would you say, well,
yeah, it should.
There's too many jobs around.
It's weird that the jobs market is so strong and the wages market looks so weak.
Right.
Yeah, or it's not weak yet. 3.2% is not bad historically.
Yeah.
But it's coming off pretty quickly and it's not very strong.
Right.
And we peaked at 4%, which also is not very strong. So like that was, with the tightest labor market in 50 years, inflation running at 7%, the most we got out of wages was 4%. It's weird. Right. It's unusual. Like a lot of people looking at that going like, that's pretty odd.
How does it compare with other countries though? Like, is it the same story over there as well? I mean, you don't have any data on that.
I don't have any data on that. I'm going to say, no, I don't know. Yeah.
But it was a really well considered, I don't know. I'll just pause. Just let me pause for a moment. I don't know. All right.
Yeah. It's like one of my favorite economics professors. He just, every time they get a question, he go, I'm not particularly interested in that question. And just move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's blindsided everyone, and including the RBA. So the RBA's a year ago, the RBA was forecasting that we would end 2024 with wages growing at 3.7%.
Yeah.
So at 3.2%, we're quite a way below that.
Did they fail? Like, is that down to the RBA? The RBA does many wonderful things and many things well. Forecasting wages is not one of them. Oh yeah, we're back to forecasting again. That's the trouble.
Yeah, something they forecast the unemployment rate pretty well, but their model for forecasting wages is always off. They always overestimate. There's a crazy chart I should look at, which we'll include. Have a look at that one there. But that looks at the RBA just consistently missing the forecast and consistently overestimating wages growth.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't happen.
All right, just stop it, RBA. Get your shit together.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, we're dropping some bombs this week, aren't we?
All right, Thomas, we got some data on Trump. Trump as a leader, as a man, as a leader, as the leader of the free world.
Yes.
What do we think?
My favorite quote of the week was some diplomat out of Singapore saying that we need to stop thinking about Trump as the leader of a global power looking to install a global order on the world and more like a landlord looking to collect rent. That's a pretty good, you look like what's happening in Ukraine. It's like, it's a pretty good model. It's like, if you're not paying us, I don't see why we need to be protecting you.
Yeah. And he's just put taxes on all of his neighbours. It's just like, he owns the whole block. And he's like, well, if you want to come in, he's set up a gated community, and he's just he's charging a toll for people to come in. All right. Well, what do the data tell us?
Well, this is out of the Pew Research Centre. They're sort of just tracking how people their opinions of him, how he's going so far. Not surprisingly, Democrats across the board think he's rubbish.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's no surprise there, but. Is looking at what I thought was interesting is Republican views of him and how they, the people who voted for him, how they rate his performance so far. Yeah. The question does he have the leadership skills needed to do the job, or does he have the mental fitness needed to do the job? Very high ranking, 76% of people agree that he does. What I thought was interesting,
Republicans agree that
Republicans,
he does.
That is.
Democrats are at 6 and 7%.
6 and 7%. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I thought was interesting is respects the country's democratic values. That drops down to 60%, and acts ethically in office down to 55% for Republicans. So
that's a pretty big gap, isn't it? From 76% that says he's got the leadership skills to 55% of the same people, the same cohort that say he's acting ethically.
But it's 45% people saying they're not confident that he's going to act ethically in office. Like that's pretty like.
But gee, does it well.
But he does it well. Does it
All right, Thomas. Finally on the show, tequila is on the rise. Sales are booming. What's going on with tequila?
Yeah, sales are booming. Like since COVID, interestingly enough, this chart is looking at American data. I assume this is a global trend. But tequila sales have boomed on the back of COVID, overtook whiskey in America in 2020, and now almost on the way to overtaking vodka.
I think it was touted as a cure for COVID, so that might have got the party started. I don't know whether did companies do that. I wonder back in the COVID days, did they kind of go like, "Hey, we've got a consumable product, like whether it's food or alcohol or liquor or beverages. Like, why don't we just sort of get it out there that this is a cure? Like, have some doctor just going like, yeah, this drink tequila for COVID.
Yeah,
bit late now anyway. Yeah, right. Well, why?
I think a little bit of reading that I did. I think there's a couple of trends. One is like the premiumization. I don't know how you say that word.
Premiumization. Oh,
yeah.
This sounds like immunisation. Back to the COVID thing again.
Yeah. Of liquor in the US market. And there's the CEO of a Bacardi and tequila company, Mike Dolan, says the morphology of tequila is easily understandable to the consumer. Blanco is for margaritas, and then you move up the spectrum, going from cocktails to more sipping tequilas. And so he's saying like it's easy to sort of like you get in with margaritas, and then you kind of like, oh yeah, I like tequila, and then you go into your sipping tequilas. Yeah,
right.
So yeah.
When do you get to tequila slammers?
I think that's the bottom rung of the morphology.
Oh, man, I've had some bad times with tequila.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've never had a bad time with tequila. I'm grateful for that.
Oh, you never had a Mad Dog?
Yeah, no, I had a Mad Dog at your 18th on there, I reckon.
At my 18th birthday.
Something? One of your birthdays.
Right. Ash would have set them up. Yeah, where you snort the salt, drink the tequila, and squeeze the lemon in your eye. The kids have probably got a different name for it these days. They were called Mad Dogs back in Darwin in when I was 18. But I don't know what they're called now. Maybe there's a chance they've fallen out of favour. Despite the booming whiskey sales, there's a chance that Mad Dogs and the notion of squeezing lemon in your eye. Just
kids don't know what they're missing.
Lost its luster. It's more of your premium activity anyway. It's more of a highbrow sort of thing, once you reach those. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I think that, that's a little bit what I think going from slammers to margaritas. Margaritas, I think it's now like, I feel like every restaurant I go to now has a margarita and a sort of bespoke margarita. Yeah. So it's like kind of, I think it'd have to be the most popular cocktail would be my guess.
Yeah, probably.
I haven't got any data on that, but.
No. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, could this also be that like people are just loading up on tequila before the tariffs come in? Most of the best tequila comes from Mexico, doesn't it?
Yeah, almost all of it, I think. Yeah.
Maybe people are just like writings on the wall. Like literally it's on the wall between Mexico and the US. Need more tequila, please.
No, I don't think so. It was. I mean, the trend lifted in 2020.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah. And the other thing is you got celebrity endorsements. So The Rock has his own tequila brand.
Does he?
Yeah.
Do you know what it's called?
I think Tequila on the Rocks.
Oh, of course it is. Even though no one drinks it like that.
Yeah. I don't think it's that. I've got no idea. I'm just making that up. But the other thing I was wondering about this is that tequila is the only alcohol that's an upper. Oh. All other alcohol is a downers, so sort of have a sedative effect.
Have a Mad Dog, that's a bit of a downer.
Yeah. But no, like tequila itself, it lifts you up, lifts your spirits more than that. And I just wonder in the kind of context of like, we're talking about people working in their dreams last week and sort of the drive for productivity. Maybe people are, I can't afford to have a downer or downers. I need that upper to sort of maintain the buzz and do all the things I need to do.
Yeah, but people aren't drinking it at work. They're not like... Go out for coffee in the morning. How about we have some slammers instead? Get this really get this productivity driving in the afternoon.
Well, no, more like if you're exhausted after a long day of work, right, and then you got to go out and hang with friends or meet clients or whatever and be social.
You've got to go out, hang with friends. You make it sound like you really don't want to. Then you've got to go out and spend time with friends and loved ones. It's a drag. Only way you get through it. Some tequila.
Some uppers.
But
no, like people, you're tired after a long work day. And you want to, you need a little bump along. Maybe that's why. I think that's the appeal of margaritas. I reckon is that they're a high vibes kind of drink.
Yeah, right. I was looking at tequila cocktails earlier, and there's one called a Bloody Maria, which presume is a twist on the old Bloody Mary. And I've just always just accepted Bloody Mary. I never thought too much about the name. It was a bit weird. But then I heard Bloody Maria, and it sounded a bit more shady.
Doesn't it change the tone of that drink?
Yeah. It sounds like an exhausted parent almost. Bloody Maria. Just done it again. Put your shoes away. All right, let's leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'd love it if you told someone else you know about CVE Podcast. If you think they would enjoy it, make sure you spread the word. That would very much appreciate it. Better still, why not send them the YouTube channel link at CVE Podcast? They can watch us talking about tequila and wages and jobs. So do that. But thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. But that is all for us for this week. Until next week, it's bye for now.
Comedian V Economist is a product of Equity Mates Media. All information in this podcast is for education and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional finance, legal, or tax advice. The hosts of Comedian V Economist are not financial professionals and are not aware of your personal financial circumstances. Before making any financial decisions, you should read the product disclosure statement and, if necessary, consult a licensed financial professional. Do not take financial advice from a podcast. For more information, head to the disclaimer page on the Equity Mates website where you can find ASIC resources and find a registered financial professional near you. In the spirit of reconciliation, Equity Mates Media and the hosts of Comedian V Economist acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people today.